Hi, I'm Nathaniel, and in this video I'm going to go over the basics of the Canon 5D Mark II. There will be links below to the manual, other videos, resources, and affiliate links to the LP-E6 battery, LC-E6 charger, and compact flash card or SD card adapter that you will need to use the camera. The camera has two on positions. The on position turns the camera on but leaves the quick control dial locked. The position with the line unlocks the quick control dial. On the top left of the camera is the mode dial, which is used to select a shooting mode. Be careful because it does not lock. C1, C2, and C3 can have custom camera user setting profiles saved to them. Selecting one of them will recall the settings that are saved to it. The default is auto. To save settings, go to Menu, Camera User Setting, Register, and then select OK. Most settings can be saved, making this a very useful feature. B is for bulb mode. In this mode, both the main dial and quick control dial will control the aperture. The shutter will stay open for as long as the shutter button is depressed. A remote cable release with a lockable shutter or electronic control can also be used. If you have the original strap, it comes with an eyepiece cover. To use it, remove the viewfinder eye cup by sliding it up and then slip the cover on, and this will prevent light leaks during long exposures. M is for manual mode. The shutter speed is controlled by the main dial. The quick control dial is used to change the aperture. The exposure is indicated on the LCD screen at the bottom of the viewfinder. AV is for aperture priority mode. The main dial controls the aperture. The camera will automatically adjust the shutter speed. The quick control dial can be used to set exposure compensation. TV is for shutter priority mode. The main dial controls shutter speed. The quick control dial controls exposure compensation. P is for program auto exposure. The main dial will cycle through different settings. Like the other modes, the quick control dial controls exposure compensation. CA is for creative auto. The screen will turn on and it can be turned off by pressing the info button. Press down on the joystick to be able to navigate settings. The main dial or quick control dial can be used to change settings. I'm not the target demographic for this mode, so that's all I'm going to cover. The green box is for auto mode. The camera will use AI focus AF mode and all 9 of the focus points. You'll have control over absolutely nothing. Now I'm going to go over the buttons by the LCD screen that control common settings. When the metering and white balance button is pressed, the main dial can be used to choose one of 4 metering modes. Evaluative. The camera chooses the exposure. Partial. The exposure is based on a center circular area covering approximately 8% of the frame. Spot. Does the same, but the circle is smaller at 3.5%. And then center weighted average. The quick control wheel can be used to set the white balance. There are 9 different settings. 2 of them are customizable. The AF drive button allows one of 3 autofocus modes to be selected with the main dial. One shot for still subjects. AI focus AF automatically switches between one shot and servo. AI servo AF is for moving subjects. The quick control dial can be used to select between single shot and continuous shooting at 3.9 frames per second, and there is a 10-second and 2-second self-timer that also allows a remote release to be used. The ISO and flash compensation button allows the main dial to set the ISO. L meaning low, which is the equivalent to an ISO of 50. Then 100 to 6400 in either half or third stops depending on camera settings. H1 and H2 are expandable ISOs, equivalent to 12,800 and 25,600 that need to be enabled in the settings. Auto will choose an ISO between 100 and 3200 when in auto, creative auto, program auto, aperture priority, or shutter priority. In manual, bulb, or when using a flash, the ISO will be set to 400. When using a flash, if this would cause an overexposure, the camera will lower the ISO. The quick control dial can be used to set the flash exposure compensation when using Canon EX series speed lights. I can't show this because I don't own a Canon speed light. Non-Canon speed lights will need to be used in manual mode. The lamp button makes the LCD look like an expensive watch from 2008. The AF point selection button will allow the multi-controller thumbstick to be used to select a focus point. Pressing the AE lock button will lock an exposure reading until the shutter button is pressed. Hold the button while taking a photo to keep the exposure setting. With an EX flash attached, the button will act as a flash exposure lock. The default behavior when pressing the AF on button is for the camera to autofocus. This is an alternative way to focus instead of half pressing the shutter. There are 5 different options. Setting number 2, metering start / metering plus AF start, is back button focusing. In order to use live view, it needs to be enabled in the settings. Go to the 6th menu from the right and select Live View / Movie Func Set. Then go to LV Func Setting, then select Stills plus Movie and Movie Display. To enter into Live View for recording video, press the Camera / Print button. Autofocus will not work while recording. Pressing the AF on button will close the mirror and allow the camera to focus. Press the Set button that is in the center of the quick control dial to start and stop recording. Magic Lantern is open source software that enables the 5D Mark II to record 2.8K 30p video instead of just 1080p 30. I have a video covering installation of Magic Lantern and all of the settings. Video files are uncompressed, meaning they are very large. This is where using an SD card adapter is going to save you lots of money. The Picture Style Selection button will allow you to select from 6 different picture styles and 3 that can be user-defined. These will only be applied to JPEG images. RAW files will not be affected. The Info button will cycle between 2 screens. The first shows camera settings. The next screen shows the camera settings. This can also be opened by pressing the joystick. Navigation is done with the joystick. Use the quick control dial to change settings. The Info button or joystick can be pressed to turn the screen off. The Playback button will display photos. The Zoom in and Zoom out buttons can be used to go from seeing 9 images where the joystick can be used to navigate to zoomed in to approximately a 10x magnification, where the joystick can be used to move the view around. The Info button can be used to cycle between displaying different information or a full image. The quick control dial can be used to go forward or back 1 image. The main dial default is to go forward or back by 10 images. The button with the trash can will bring up the option to delete an image. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I have other helpful videos on the Canon 5D Mark II. Make sure to subscribe and visit my website when you are in the mood to go shopping. I'll see you in the next one. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and check out my website whenever you're in the mood to buy something, and I will see you in the next video.